And Gautam Shah, founder of Goldilocks Global Research. Gautam, good morning. Hiral on this side. Welcome to the show and wishing you a Merry Christmas in advance as well. What I want to talk to you about is, with the kind of recent breakouts that have already come in, we are above those key resistance levels when you talk about Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. What would your updated Nifty and Bank Nifty targets be for the near term and 2026?
Good morning. I think levels for the near term might not be as important than the overall perspective of where markets are right now. Because if stock markets are a reflection of the current economy and where the headline indices are at this point of time, you will have to believe that the economy is in fine form. Because, after going through so much negativity in the last 6 months on so many counts, the fact that the Nifty is at 26,200 itself, I think is an indication that the market is still on a firm footing. And I haven't seen so much negativity at lifetime highs ever in my history of looking at the stock markets. So given all of that, I think this market is clearly headed for much higher levels. There is a feeling that the results that come out in the month of January might just validate all the government measures that came up over the last 6 to 8 months. And if that were to be the case, then I don't think you can say that Indian market valuations are stretched. It's another logic that world markets are doing probably much better than India, but that's a different game or a different thought process altogether. But on a standalone basis, I think we saw a breakout a couple of days back. The rally seems to be broadening out. And once we get past levels of 26,250, from a near-term perspective, I'm looking at about 26,700, and our medium-term target stays at 27,500. I do believe that this market is going to get more broad-based going forward. So the opportunity, which in the last 1 month has been in the top 100, is now going to be in the other 500 to 1,000 stocks.
So the bigger trade is going to be in the mid caps and the small caps from here on, is what Gautam Shah is alluding. But one question I have for you is, how are you interpreting the current low India VIX levels? Is it actually indicating continued market strength, or is there a potential complacency in place from here on?
That's the big disconnect. There is so much fear and pessimism in the minds of people with what's happened in the last 1 month. Obviously, market participants' portfolios have not done well. So I think the fear is clearly there when we speak to people. And on the other hand, when we look at India VIX, which is trading at single digit, historically, whenever this has happened, it's only triggered a rally for our markets. So I just feel that you actually have the perfect foundation for the markets actually moving to lifetime highs and beyond. And you never have a market top or a major correction with VIX at such low levels. I think eventually VIX will move higher, and over the next couple of weeks, as the earnings follow in, I think the market will realize that all is well internally as well.
Gautam, good morning. Sorry, my eyes are now a lot weaker than they were 10 years ago, but is that a Christmas shirt that you're wearing?
Yes, I am. Just going with the flow.
Yeah, it should. It's a very nice one. Season's greetings to you, Gautam, and I hope you have a great time. But I wonder if, while the index may do what it does and you may have those levels in mind, 2025 has been entirely about specific buckets, right? CDMO companies have done well. Metals have done well in the last 2 or 3 months. For the better part, power companies did well before they fizzled out completely. What do you think likely will be the stars as the markets also hit new highs? But what will do much better over the course of the next 6 months or the next 12 months?
Let me make a very important point here. I think we are all engraved in believing in compounding. You hear any value investor and everybody says that compounding is something that stock markets can give you. But I do believe with what has already happened in the last 5 years, mass compounding is behind us. I don't think you're going to see many stocks compound from these levels, because you are at levels of 26,000. There is a lot of disruption happening. India valuation is expensive. Most markets in the world are doing better than India. And I think at these levels, there are still some questions about whether the economy is really going to pick up and going to move at a very fast pace. So the key point I'm trying to make here is that specific buckets which did well in 2025 will do well in 2026. So you'll have to work really hard to generate alpha and to generate returns. There are some buckets which have done very well. I mean, look at what metals have done in the last 3 months. It was our favorite. Some of the top stocks, the non-ferrous stocks, have done very well. Banks have made a very good comeback because they have nothing to do with foreign policy in some sense. So I think Metals and banks are probably two sectors that we continue to like getting into the new year. And I think the opportunity of 2026 is going to be the PSU space. I feel very comfortable about it technically and fundamentally. And because it is under-owned and it's coming out of 18 months of consolidation, I feel that it's going to be the opportunity of the year.
Wow. Okay. Opportunity. So metals and banks and PSU banks, those are the opportunities of the year, right? Gautam, you said?
No, I'm talking about the entire PSU basket, not just the PSU banks, which have already done well, but the entire PSU basket, I think, will stand out. It could be stocks from power, it could be infrastructure, it could be banks across the board.
Gautam, I missed the times when you could, while we do not make it a stock-specific conversation with you, but I missed the times when you could talk about a couple of examples as a gift for a New Year's gift for people. You can't do that now, can you?
No, Neeraj, compliance does not allow me to speak about specific stocks, but I do believe that some of the top PSU banks still have a lot of room on the upside. I would not buy a 60 PE paint company. I would rather buy a 11 PE bank company.
Okay. Well, people should take cues from that, right? He's trying to make it as easy as possible for
and
viewers.
getting you the fundamental flavor to your tech side of it as well. One question I have, Gautam, for you is you've been very cautious when it comes to IT and consumption. You mentioned about paints as well. Are you seeing any opportunity come in over there, or would you say it's the best to avoid when it comes to 2026? Because IT, we are seeing concerns when it comes to H-1B visas right now. FMCG, people are talking about a pickup in consumption, but you have been pretty negative on these two sectors. Gautam, can you hear me?
Well, I think yes, I did. So I think the technology sector has made a good comeback in the last couple of weeks. However, this could be temporary. I do believe that there are still a lot of headwinds. The relative strength charts are not in good space. So I don't see technology being a very big opportunity. I know a lot of people feel that there is some value and there is too much negativity around it. But given the valuations, given the way AI is disrupting India and the world in some sense, I don't think IT is an opportunity. We did cover a couple of stocks which might stand out, but nothing from a holistic point of view. See, many of the big winners of the last 2.5 years, infrastructure, defense, railway, have just lost the plot in some sense, and people are still living in the past. Whereas the new market opportunity is in the newer sectors, and that's where you need to focus upon.
Okay, well, if plum cakes were listed, we would have asked Gautam for something like that as well. And if there is a stock out there, Gautam, quick 30 seconds. What's the holiday plan?
Nothing much, Neeraj. I think it's just great weather. Just enjoy the markets, hopefully, and be at it while the move is on.
Okay, well, being at home with family is the Christmas thing, right? And yeah, it should be wonderful to do that. Gautam, great having you as always. More so on Christmas Eve. Have a super celebration, and best wishes for the new year.
Thank you, Neeraj, to you and the entire team as well.